Hello and thanks for watching another random palm reading video. So this person has sent me pictures of their palm. I did them a tiny video on social media and they've inquired wanting a better, sort of more elaborate reading in terms of wanting to know more about their job, career, health and overall living standards money-wise. So as always, looking at the shape of this person's palm, they are fire hand, so that's a long palm and short fingers. Fire hands are classically adventurous, audacious and enthusiastic people. Spontaneous, impulsive sometimes, and very passionate. They're self-interested and self-motivated. They're often very good at making money very quickly and then losing it just as quickly. So yeah, they seek active and exciting lifestyles. They thrive off deadlines. They have a low boredom threshold and find routine laborious. So there we go. That's your average kind of fire hand. I'm sure I've mentioned this sort of thing in previous videos, but I just wanted to give you a lowdown as to who this person is before delving into the information in their palm. So interestingly, looking at the left hand and comparing it with the right, we have certainly a stronger career line on the right palm, which indicates that this person initially didn't feel they were going to be as successful as they are now, as their position in life has elevated their status in life currently. And one of the first things I noticed was this lengthy career line that stems from very low down, deep into lunar, almost Neptune, and that's someone in Tibetan palmistry who is said to have reincarnated to have come back in this life to carry out unfinished business. In terms of character, this person I would say is quite an open and warm person. There's a fairly large gap between the head and the heart line, suggesting a broad-minded and open person. And the overall complexion of the palm is pinkish, which is often a warm-spirited person. So let's just break it down. Let's first of all look at the career. So we can see late 20s here on the career line anyway. We've got some obstacles coming over here from the family as a direct result of family. And it could be anything from family trying to help to a death in the family. I don't think that's it. But just to give examples as to how influences from the family, and that's what these are, they're influence lines, can sometimes aid or trip us up in our path towards our, in our careers, our ambition and our success. So late 20s, we've got some sort of influence here. Now that would normally, if it were just to touch the career line and go nowhere else, that would be some sort of obstacle at home. But because it carries on and touches the headline, this is something a bit more than that. It seems like some sort of interference from family, perhaps trying to steer this person's career. And interestingly, from that moment onwards, a second career line develops. So it could be that the family helped financially, or perhaps provided some sort of education. Who knows? However, what is certain is from the age of late 20s right up to 35, this what looks like whatever's making this person money is purely to pay the bills, and this secondary hobby begins at late 20s and continues and takes over after 35 as the main money maker. So that's interesting. And then at 35, at the same time that this original job ends, we've got this decision here, because it's coming from the headline, that it flicks over and reaches upwards at the same time that career ends here at 35. Is it 30? Yeah, 35-ish. And that flick is interesting because it points towards the place of Mercury. Mercury is communication, language, skills, and it's difficult to say whether or not this person is left or right hand dominant by just looking at the palms, but I would say that they're more intuitive, and so this decision to end one career whilst continuing this second career, which may have started as a hobby or a side project, is intertwined with this growth of learning in, I think, communication or language in some way. And the reason why I'm saying that is because if you check out this headline, it forks at the end here very nicely, deep into Luna. A headline that forks is known as the writer's fork. Generally, writers have this, actors have this, lawyers have this as well. And psychologists as well. People are able to see things from more than one perspective. And you can see surely how any and all of those careers would benefit from that. Often, however, people with this do have a tendency to embellish and lie, and sometimes not consciously. It just sort of happens, and then they tend to kind of believe that lie as it happens, and it's because they're so good at seeing things from other perspectives that the possibilities are endless, and so the possibilities change even when recounting memories. So it's possible that this person begins a secondary kind of career as any and all of the things I've mentioned: a writer, a lawyer, an actor. I don't think necessarily an actor. However, there is this. You can sort of see this line here, and it's sort of like the beginnings. The idea stemmed from this place, and to begin with, in Luna, to begin with. And a career line that comes from Luna like this, not to say that it does do this, is someone who desires a career with an audience. And looking at the fingers, I don't really get from the fingers this is a person who desires to show off so much necessarily. It's a very well balanced individual with a good sense of right and wrong, a good ability to make decisions. All rounder, this person is a good all rounder and quite a strong individual in terms of how they'll end up in their career. I think they will be successful. However, from the age of 40 to 53, there is a need to protect their career, and that could well be as a result of health issues. Which brings us to the second question. This person does have quite high cholesterol, and the potential to, on another note, the potential to stray away and be tempted from their partner, and that's because there's a lack of focus around emotions here. around their love life. But getting back to health, there are several things you can do to reduce cholesterol, dietary-wise. I'll put those in the description. And I believe I have said this, I'm skipping around a bit here, but earlier on in the shorter version video of this one, the career line, that's a terrible example, it sort of stops and there's almost like this kite on a string thing going on up here. And I believe that this right here is a decision to stop working and cash out the pension and just go and have some fun, live life. What's it for, after all? There's a strong sun line, but there are some issues that try and get in the way of that, and they're health related, and it's very possible to prevent those from happening now, because this is not for a while yet, by changing your diet. That will make that'll have massive positive knock-on effects on the kind of clogged arteries here. There's also a bit of there's some metals in the blood here as well, so that might be poor drinking water. Get yourself a water filter and stop using aluminium eating and cooking utensils. There's what's known as the Mystic Cross here. It's not entirely on its own, but it's quite a rare symbol, quite a spiritual symbol. It is usually linked towards the occult and spiritualism, a strong interest in these matters, the occult and spiritualism, and it's sort of supported as well. That's an interesting one. I don't see any other kind of corresponding markings, and as I say, it's not entirely isolated. So I'm not going to say that it's the Mystic Cross. It's just interesting how it looks that way. So I would be wary of your family's involvement in your own affairs. Live your own life. Be careful who has power over the events in your life. If you're unhappy in your current relationship, then get out of it. And I know that sounds silly. That's easy for me to say. Obviously, there could well be children involved. I can't see any there. And it might, it's not that plain. It's just not that simple sometimes. I can appreciate that. However, a relationship isn't working if one person isn't happy. It's important that you live your life and you do what's right for you in your life. Which brings us to money. I don't know which number we're on now. 4, 5, I don't know. I think as you get older, you will take more control over your life. And as I say, you will make the conscious decision to fly this little kite over here, which is not a bad sign. It's a diamond at the end of your life line, and this here is a triangle. Yes, your career will end, but I believe it will end with you taking control of the circumstances around that. And there's still room for growth in that area afterwards, and much happiness. So you've got here several sun lines. not necessarily as positive as one strong, long, and deep sunline. However, as they progress, they become stronger, and they're linked to this decision here to end. So, as I say, I do believe that you cash out your pension or something similar to that effect, and you live your life. There is this sort of obstacle that seems to be trying to come from your family and interfere with your happiness, but I believe you'll get over this and steer the course of your own life in the direction that suits you. So I hope that makes sense. I hope that's satisfactory. If you've got any questions, please email me. I won't be able to do another reading for you. There's just so many people waiting for readings from me. If you're watching this and you'd like a reading, please email me. As I say, I can't guarantee that I will be able to do one for you. Please send me clear pictures of your palms, as this one is, flat on like this, because at an angle it can disrupt the information, can make fingers appear shorter than they are, that sort of thing. Thanks for watching, and subscribe and all that jazz.